Go ahead.
Crash Bandicoot Warped is the most overrated game in the entire series. I can't stand it when people think Warped is the best one. You guys, this is a 30 level game with half of the content being gimmick stages.
Yeah,
Welcome
sounds about right.
everybody. Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Vulture Culture podcast, the only podcast that Mario just died. Mario
The only
fucking.
podcast where we get warped.
Today's episode is a special one because this is kind of the end of us doing the trifecta, the trilogies of the Vulture Culture podcast of what we have. This is the final third entry. What isn't it? Like I don't think we have any more. We did Stranger Things 3, we did Shrek 3, we did X-Men 3, we did
Well, Shrek 4 is gonna
no,
have
but I mean
probably
no.
gonna
I'm
happen.
meaning of like all the threes, not like I'm meaning of all the threes.
Rick and Morty season 3.
Yeah, we did Rick and Morty season 3. So yeah, this is and we did the final trilogy for Five Nights at Freddy's as well with Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So this is it, y'all. This is the end of the imperfect trilogies. There was not really a lot of good trilogies. Hopefully, maybe Crash Bandicoot
Or
Warped is good.
first try again. I got it.
Nice job.
He's playing the game right now.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I mean, Sir pretty much knows what we're talking about today anyway, so it's no biggie. Um. So yes, today we are talking about Crash Bandicoot Warped. And if you don't know what Crash Bandicoot Warped is, it is Crash Bandicoot Warped, known in Europe as Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, is a 1998 platformer game developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the PlayStation. It is the third game in the Crash Bandicoot series, and following Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, the game's story takes place immediately after the events of the second game. When the ruins of Dr. Neo Cortex space station crash lands on Earth, they unleash an evil entity known as Uka Uka, Aku Aku's evil brother, who joins with Cortex in the time-obsessed Dr. Nefarious Trophy, as they plan to gather powerful crystals that lay scattered across time.
Did you say Nefarious Trophy?
Trophy, ain't it? Entropy.
Entropy.
Yes, his name is Entropy.
Yeah, but it says here Dr. Nefarious Trophy.
No, I know.
Okay.
You should be dead.
Anyways, the game follows the main character, Crash and Coco Bandicoot, as they travel through time and prevent the villains from gathering the crystals by collecting them themselves. Yes! Finally, I guess. We're finally coming to the end of the Insane Trilogy. After this almost an entire year of doing this podcast, we are near the end. How do you all feel?
Wow.
We are... yes, there's Crash 4, and I think we do plan to do Crash 4 at some point. But this is the end of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you all ready just to dive right into Crash Bandicoot Warp by asking the very famous question.
Genuinely, though.
Hmm?
Oh.
I was just going to ask first impressions.
What was your famous question?
First impressions.
Oh, I see.
Do you want to start us off then, Roxy? You go right ahead.
Yeah, when I was playing through the Insane Trilogy for the first time, I liked Crash 1 the most. And I was like, wow, that was incredible. And then I played Crash 2 and I was like, wow, that was good. And then I played Crash 3 and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I mean, given nowadays I've warmed up significantly to Crash 2 to where it's one of my favorite video games ever. But my thoughts on 3 haven't really changed. I'm just like, why? And like, this game is literally just half vehicle gimmick stages instead of the platforming you actually want to fucking play when you put in a Crash Bandicoot game.
Mm-hmm.
The, I do think the one upside it has over Crash 1 and 2 is that it has better completion. It has a better completion thing because it was designed with the time trial relics in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And Crash 1 and 2 weren't, but like whatever, man. The levels in this game are not nearly as good as the ones in the first two.
And we'll get to it.
The platforming
Definitely.
stages, the platforming stages actually are like on the same level of quality, but the fact of the matter is they're not enough of them.
Mm-hmm. If y'all remember, do you guys care if I go next?
Sure.
Okay, so Crash Bandicoot 3. If y'all remember Crash, when we did Crash Bandicoot 2, I said I played 3 already, and I had already beaten Crash 3 a handful of times. Crash 3 is probably the second most I've beaten in multiple sittings. I beat Crash 2 a lot as well, because believe it or not, I think Crash 1 and 2, like I also played 4, and if you read my backlog, you would know that I loved Crash 4. I think it's like the best Crash Bandicoot game ever. As you can tell, I didn't do completion requirements, but um, Crash Bandicoot 3 was always like, I don't think I ever played Crash Bandicoot 3 prior to the podcast. I just never cared to. And then I played Crash 4, It's About Time, and then I played Wrath of Cortex. And then I played Crash of the Titans. We all know how I feel about Crash of the Titans. No need to talk about it here. But I got so mad that I took...
Everybody has the same opinion on Crash of the Titans, and it's correct.
It's awful. It's a piece of shit. Anyways, one thing I will say before handing the mic to Sir is I don't think Crash 3 is all that memorable. And it's kind of awkward to say that because it's the one that I probably replayed the second most.
I think it's the most popular one. But like to me at least, the only really memorable thing about Crash 3 are the characters it introduces. But the same can be said about the other two games in the trilogy.
Mm-hmm. And hell, even Crash 4 introduces back some of the cool characters.
I mean, I guess none of the characters Crash 3 introduces are duds because you don't have a Komodo Bros or Koala Kong, but like
Mm-hmm. Okay, Sir,
I
what
don't
about
know.
you? Sir, what
I
about
like
you?
Uka Uka, I like Entropy. I like Dingodile.
Um,
They're good additions.
I think first time I played it was literally a few days ago
Mm-hmm.
when I had to do it for the podcast.
Yep. You never
Yeah.
touched it? You never touched it beforehand or anything?
No.
Alright. Okay, I was just wondering. Should we move on to...
That's disappointing.
You guys want to just move on to the gameplay?
Yeah.
Roxy, kick us off.
Crash Bandicoot 3 has some gameplay kind of like Crash Bandicoot 1 and 2, in that you're platforming, you're spinning around, although it does have the added bonus of unlocking new abilities and power-ups after each boss, which on one hand makes the game, it makes the game a lot easier and therefore a lot less balanced and interesting, I would say. But on the other hand, they do fit in really well with the time trial system that the game added
Mm-hmm.
for the sake of completion. But also, Crash Bandicoot 3 has a major, major disadvantage over Crash 1 and 2, and that is half of the game are the vehicle levels you don't actually want to play.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Most of the game, if you're not platforming, you're either driving around on a bike, you're riding around on top of a tiger, you're
Flying a plane,
driving a jet ski, or you're
Or underwater.
which is
and sometimes even riding on a baby dinosaur.
yeah.
Yeah.
And let's not
Only sometimes.
let's be honest here. I don't think it's a bad idea for Crash to try to innovate its ideas. I think that's always a good idea. I think a series shouldn't always just stick to what it's good at. I think that's what made the F-Zero
if the people making this game, if Age of Extinction had come out before this game, the people making it would have watched that movie. Mark Wahlberg say, maybe something shouldn't be invented, and they go, hey, maybe let's not have half the game be gimmick levels.
Like what I was gonna say, if F-Zero taught me anything about, I know it's such a weird segue, but I do want to just bring it up real quick. If F-Zero taught me anything, it's always a good idea to try to innovate instead of always trying to go back to the past. Some of the best games in F-Zero's lineup are GX and X, which do innovate the formula from the original Super Nintendo one. Meanwhile, the two games I hate the most are the ones that literally just stay the same as the originals. So I get why they would probably be like, let's try to change this up. Not because of F-Zero, but like they would probably be like, let's not just have platformers. Let's add in more. And like, I guess I should also give Crash 3 a little bit more credit. At the very least, I guess at the very least, some of the levels that are just like the motorcade or like riding the motorcycle or riding the tiger are fun. There's just also
trying to have variety is fine, but the fact of the matter is, if the game has too much, this game has too much variety to the point where nothing feels focused on.
here's one thing I will say as well. Crash Bandicoot 2 didn't really try going for variety, which is fine with what it was doing. I think Crash 2...
Yeah.
No,
A little bit, but
Crash
not
2 was
too
mostly
much.
platforming stages. Sure, there were some vehicle levels,
like the
and
jetpack.
there were even some vehicles spliced into normal stages, which Crash 3 also has.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, Crash 2 hit like the perfect balance by having only around like fifth of the game be gimmick stages, because the bulk of it is still what you actually want to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like the best example is like a game like like when you want to play like a game where it's like a platformer or a racer, you're not playing it so then you can play like a different style of game. You're playing it because you want to play that style of game. If you're playing an MMORPG and then like all of a sudden they're like, okay, now you got to race this guy, you're gonna be like, why am I racing this guy? I'm not here to play fucking Mario Kart. I'm here to play Final Fantasy or whatever. You know, and I think that is a big issue with Crash 3, and none of it feels really all that focused. It feels like they just...
Exactly. It feels like it's so weird, because like, sure, you can say some of the gimmicks evolve a little bit as they go on, but they really don't become enough to distinguish each other. The fucking jet ski levels, I really
Oh,
don't
Yeah,
like. They
those
control
are
like
annoying.
they're so boring. They're so boring. They're not
Also,
fun.
the plane levels are. I'm
Or
pretty
just...
sure the plane levels only exist to justify Engine's boss fight existing.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. It's like...
I forgot about the plane level.
Yeah, here's the thing about Engine as
To
well,
be
by the
fair,
way.
Engine's boss fight is fucking awesome, but you don't
Yeah,
need to make levels based on that mechanic, because it's really easy to understand from the beginning anyway.
well, see, that's the thing. It's like Engine had like a new mechanic in Crash 2 that like they didn't need to like make a whole level where you threw Wumpa Fruit around. They didn't need that at all.
Yeah, because it was easy enough to understand as soon as you
Yeah.
got the hold of it.
Exactly.
Given in Crash 3, having Engine's thing, if the plane levels didn't exist, it would mean that Engine's boss fight wouldn't test any necessary skill, but it would still feel cool and climactic, which I'm sure is what they were actually going for, given how, presentation.
Yeah, how climactic the
Dude,
fucking fight was.
it genuinely, fighting Engine makes you feel like a fucking superhero in this game.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
definitely the highlight.
And that's the thing. We'll get to boss fights later. I don't want to go over them right now, because I don't think it's very fair, at the very least at this moment. Because most of like the stages as well, it's like I don't get the underwater levels at all. Like one of like...
Oh, if you're wondering what they're supposed to be, because it's like, oh man, what time period is the underwater level supposed to be? Because it's just underwater. Based on the architecture and stuff, I think it's supposed to be Atlantis.
Yeah, but like also that's another thing. It feels weird that we're scattering around different time periods, yet none of them feel all that different. It's not like Crash 4.
Problems with
Okay.
the as much bring up, it's a similar. What I don't like is that they're not like coherent. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like
I will say. Oh, sorry. I will
it's
say
like you
one
go to a
detail.
certain time period,
No,
like
you can talk. I need to
themed
stop.
area.
Now.
You expect all the levels of that to be based around that time period, but no, it's like we have snow level, then Arabian level, then the Chinese level,
Yeah.
then biker level. It's like it's a similar problem I have with like Super Mario 3D World. It has why even have theme worlds at all if you're not going to commit to them?
Yeah.
Just have it be random.
Which, by the way, we'll go over 3D World in season 4. Don't worry, wink,
Well,
wink,
I'll
nudge,
say
nudge.
this regarding the level design. Like, I do think that the actual environments and stuff they chose were good picks for the most part. I'm not sure about Atlantis. That one was really weird to me. But and one more thing that I think is really interesting that they do with the time travel theme, even if the levels do feel like, even if for the most part it does feel like you could just make the levels take place in modern day with minimal changes, I do think something that the time travel theme does that's really cool is you can actually see that Cortex took over each time period he visited.
Yeah.
But see, like here's actually a really good example: Plants vs Zombies 2. Like Plants vs Zombies 2, like it showed that like yeah, Zomboss took over and like they did all this stuff, but
Oh
also
no,
still having
Plants
themes.
vs Zombies 2 definitely does better with its time travel theme because it actually bases the mechanics on the like they have mechanics that can only work for each time period.
Exactly, and I like
Yes.
that because then it makes it stand out more. Like if I tell you name like aside like oh name this level, if I was like okay what time period is this level supposed to be, and I show you like the underwater level, you'll be like I guess Atlantis, but like Atlantis,
Water.
yeah, water,
Oh yes, my favorite time period in history, Atlantis.
yeah.
My favorite. No, okay, okay. It would be really funny. It would be really funny if you showed that and somebody was like, "Oh, it's Noah's Ark, obviously."
Noah's Ark, dumbass. It's Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark with underwater mines.
Oh, true. Did you not read that part where he took all the animals and also a couple explosives? God.
You
Anyways,
know, the
That
explosives got to breed
fake
too.
Bible fan.
a fake Bible fan. Anyways, but yeah, no, like, and of course, the dog fights are like also really weird. Why? Like, okay, so
Yeah,
we
they're supposed to be world. They're supposed to be like World War I era dogfights, but like it's just
you're just
it feel
flying.
that the dog fights in particular are just feel so disconnected from everything else in the game, and that's saying a lot because this game is already
Yeah.
disjointed as all hell.
Yeah, like it doesn't need to be this. Like honestly, if they wanted to do the whole idea of time travel, make a western stage. Make a stage about like cowboys and stuff, and you have to like, or hell, if you want to do the Arabian theme so bad, do the Arabian theme as like an entire thing. Have it be like where you're like, I mean, there's like the jet ski levels, you're fighting pirates, and it's like yeah, pirates existed from back in the day, obviously, but I don't know, man. Like having it at the very least makes sense. One of the series, actually, believe it or not, one of the series that, one of the things that my good buddy, alleged ape talked with me about was the Assassin's Creed series. I know this is going off topic, but like he said, one of the things he didn't like about the series was the fact that like back then they made it really accurate with the lore and stuff. However, it felt weird because like they would spend most of the time in a certain time period, like instead of going to a different one. Now it seems like they're just jumping from time period to time period and not letting these other stories breathe. And I'm just like, that's kind of how I feel about Crash 3. They don't let these set pieces or areas breathe. Instead, they just go to the next place. It doesn't feel coherent. It doesn't feel fun. It's like you could literally, honestly, if you took a screenshot of some of the levels and you go, okay, would you believe me if I told you this was from Crash 2? Some people would be like, that kind of does. Like, you know
No,
what I mean?
literally, if you took a screenshot of the levels and you just like censored Crash Coco in any Cortex symbolism that's throughout the stages, would you even be able to guess it's from a Crash Bandicoot game?
I guess that's fair as well. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's so weird and so dumb. I hate it.
Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I get like Crash 2's Warp Room. I get that the time travel thing was just an excuse to have differently themed levels. But like, really? Did you have to introduce time travel? And not just that, but you also but you also made two of your levels types water themed. So those two have much less visual variety than the other ones you can do with
Yeah.
because oh great, it's underwater. Cool. Now what?
What else?
And then the other one is mostly just an empty bay with some pirates in it. Great. Wow, this looks so cool and interesting.
It's so dumb, man. I mean, Look, I don't want to like disrespect anybody who does like this game because I know that there are people who do like this game, but still.
I do the platforming stages though, those ones are actually really good, and I do genuinely think that if the game decided to be if it had like Crash 2's balancing and only had like two types of gimmick stages and in like 17, at least 17 out of the 25 main ones
Hmm.
were actual platformer stages, this would probably be the best in the trilogy, but that's not what they did.
Do you know what's actually weird now that you say that? Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you know how like I'm
But
kind of surprised like they could do something like in 3D World. There was like that one level where you there's like that one level where you jump on Plessy's back and you ride down something. They could have like a pirate themed stage and then like at the halfway point you hitch a ride with Coco and like start driving away from like pirates or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that would work way better than what the game actually gave.
because the actual gimmicks they do for the most part aren't fun. The animal riding one still is, and they only have two of those. But then we got to have four motorcycle levels because that's fun.
4 motorcycle levels, 3 jet ski levels. It's all so
Three plane levels. No, Caroline. There's four jet ski levels
You're
because
right.
there are two secret levels that you can find
The other secret level.
by like doing things, and one of them is a jet ski level.
And like
So
why would you think this is a good idea?
like,
Like
okay, think about it. Think of the Egyptian levels, think of the Arabian levels, and think of the future levels. Those levels are incredible, genuinely.
mm-hmm. But then but like it's mashed between jet ski, you get to ride
That's
around.
the
You get
motorbike.
to drive a motorcycle that controls badly.
Motorbike.
Well, I want to get
Yeah.
to. It's so shockingly bad.
Should we just dedicate like
A
should
section
we
to the
dedicate like a
gimmicks.
short yeah, like a short subsection to each gimmick?
Yeah. Here.
Oh my
Or
gosh,
just
I
each
will.
level theme in general,
Well, no,
maybe?
we'll just do gimmicks. Let okay. So there's bike, jet ski, plane,
Here,
uh,
I'll write it out.
tiger.
Bike, jet ski, plane, diving.
What'd you say? Diving.
I said diving.
Okay.
Yeah, tiger, and then I guess baby T, but that's brief
Nah.
enough. And in
We'll just
yeah, and that's in other types of stages.
we'll
So
talk. Okay, so Crash Bandicoot 3 introduces way more mechanics, and we did already touch upon it. And basically, like the new mechanics are basically just Crash can do all these other things other than just run and jump and spin and dash. They did also introduce power
And
ups,
right,
which we'll talk about in a minute. Oh, what were you saying, sir?
of course, animal riding was the thing in first,
Yeah.
but let's see. I was trying to think in all the new gimmicks. Each one, first one it had animal riding. Second one had jetpack. And did the second one have underwater? No,
I
remember.
don't think the second one had
no,
underwater.
the
No.
only returning type of vehicle level from from the previous games is animal riding, but even then they made it different in this one. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So really, so like Crash 1 and 2 don't really have these kinds of things because one they were more like prioritizing the levels that they were doing. If you want like the best comparison not best comparison, but like one of the best ways I can explain 1 and 2 and how they separate each other is that level variety is completely different in the way of how the game looks and feels as well. Like Crash 2 really does feel like a full-on improvement from Crash 1. And it works so well
yeah,
for what it was trying to do. And I do like
no,
Crash 1 a lot more than
it's
I
like
thought.
Crash One is like a really well-made homemade meal. Crash 2 is like a meal from a five-star restaurant, and then Crash 3 is like a McDonald's burger.
It's a whopper.
It still tastes good, but it's not substantive.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I know what
Yeah.
you mean. I eat McDonald's a lot, so I'm a fat ass. Sorry. Anyways,
Yummer.
what'd you say?
Yummers.
Yummers.
Yep.
Me eating my 13th
Yummers.
yummer. Yummers. You guys want to talk about the bike?
Fuck the
that-
bike.
Okay, yeah. First things first, the motorcycle controls like ass. Yes, yes, you can stop accelerating in order to turn better, but like, I mean, if these levels needed to exist for CTR to exist, I'm fine with it because CTR is incredible. But
But
like, this is a
no.
bad prototype.
It really does feel like F-Zero. This is not. This is awful. I hate the. I
This is-
hate the
I
racing.
think it's the only time in the game, any of these games I just rage quit.
Even compared to Crash 1.
It doesn't even make sense. Because if Cortex has the lab assistants trying to find the crystals and they already got the crystal, why would they race you for it? It's like how in Parappa the Rapper, you get in line for the bathroom and then everybody's like, hey, let's do a rap battle for who gets to go. Like, no. Wouldn't the person in front of the line just immediately go in?
No, man, we got to battle for it. Battle of the bands, you know.
You already have the crystal. Why are you racing Crash? Where did they even get these vehicles from anyway?
Also, can I ask another thing? Why are you all racing in different time periods anyways? Whenever they're supposed to be like medieval times or fucking whatever, they're like, this is like the 50s when they're racing, which doesn't make any sense.
I find it funny that like it feels like for the motorcycle levels they just straight up gave up with the time travel gimmick and were like it's 1950s, so you know, basically very, very, very similar to modern day in terms of theming. Just in the American Midwest.
Yeah, which makes no sense either. It's just so
Okay,
stupid.
I will say though, I do think that out of all the theming of how Cortex and his minions took over the time periods, I do think that the biker levels have my favorite, like, integration of him having taken over. Due to, like, Entropy selling things, Engine selling gas, Dingo having a diner, foreshadowing. And the fact that Cortex is both the mayor and the police chief is hilarious.
We investigated
Yeah.
ourselves and we found no corruption.
Like I think that's genuinely a great detail.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. That's nice and all, but my God,
It doesn't salvage the level.
It does not salvage it at all. Yeah, it can look. Look, you can look nice and beat the fuck out of me. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's
like,
cool.
The first biker level is whatever. The second biker level is the hardest level in the entire game. Like, what the hell happened there?
That's where Sir
the
got
third
mad,
one is fine,
I don't
and
blame
then
him.
Area 51 is garbage.
Yeah, all of it.
Wait, there's area. Is that a secret level? Area
Yes,
51.
the secret and final biker level has you racing against UFOs that move around and swerve into you.
It's all of it's like not even all that fun to play. The bike levels aren't fun to race the other people at all.
You know what the best part is? The music for those levels was actually worse in the PS1 version.
Oh, really?
Yes. I can send it to you if you want. The music sounds like it's being played by a high school band.
Oh no.
In for those levels in the PS1.
I think Crash Bandicoot's bike levels are not only unnecessary, it doesn't fit what kind of theme they were trying to do really all that well.
Literally, it feels like they knew they were going to make a Crash Bandicoot racing game and wanted to at least do an experiment to test how well they could do it at first.
Yeah. Huh. Well,
Like, okay,
Yeah.
then we have the jet ski levels, which control. They have the exact opposite of the motorcycle, where instead of only moving forward and you can steer very, very slowly, the jet ski allows you to move in all directions and you steer way too fast.
Yep. Again, one of my least favorite parts of the game is like underwater. Like, out of every game, that like
Yeah. Especially since you turn so sensitively.
yeah.
It genuinely
I remember
feels.
trying to carefully move past the nitro only to hit it anyway.
It genuinely feels like you're running around on roller skates.
And for what reason? Like, why? why even add this? Like, again, I know I keep asking the same question, but it really has to be asked. Why did you all want to put? Why did it feel like I don't want to sound like Crash is copying anything. Why does it feel like they wanted Crash to be the everything series? Like, don't get me wrong, a
Well,
Crash racing game.
Here's what happened, Caroline. Naughty Dog, when making the original Crash games, made one, that was good. They made two, that was good, but they didn't really want to continue it after that point. And then it's like, okay, you got to make a third one. And here's what I find funny. This is the point in the series where Cortex basically just becomes the mouthpiece of whoever's working on it, which is what because they made Cortex tired and wanting it all to just be over in this game.
Didn't they? Didn't they want the right to see, like, the rights of Crash to look unbearable? So that's why they made Crash Team Racing to make the game look.
Yes, and they accidentally made the best racing game of all time.
I don't know. FZRGX
Because
might have.
here's the funny thing: the story in Crash Team Racing has an intentionally terrible villain, but everybody loved him because of how fucking stupid he is. Nitrous Oxide. He even came back in Crash 4 as a cameo.
Mm-hmm. But
But
yeah,
yeah, I find it really funny that even the devs, like once again through Cortex, they basically just communicated, we don't even really care anymore, man. We're just being forced to make this.
I
Crash
really.
3, like Crash 3
Yeah.
doesn't feel like Crash 3 doesn't feel like a game where the people who made it hated working on it, but it does feel like they didn't want to make another one.
And they didn't, did they? I don't think Naughty Dog worked on the next one.
Yeah, they didn't want to make another. They made CTR and then they sold off the series.
Who they sold off to?
Yeah.
Universal?
I
Well,
think
Universal
Traveler's
already
Tales for the
owned
next
the
games.
rights, I think.
Who did?
Not only were the developers.
Anyway, look. The fact of the matter is, I do find it funny that even when they weren't trying, Naughty Dog still made something passable, and then when they were actively trying to sabotage the series, they accidentally made something incredible.
But see, I don't get why they wouldn't just be. I mean, I guess they were, like, still really talented at the shit, so I guess they were like, oh, fuck it. Why not? But I mean, like, why does it always feel like Naughty Dog just never cares about its fucking franchises? That's so weird.
Except, yeah, they don't care unless it's The Last of Us.
Huh.
Anyway, back to the vehicles because I just thought it would be
Back
interesting
to
to point out.
the driving.
I just thought it would be interesting to point out that Cortex being tired and not even wanting to do this is a parallel to the developers. Which once again, if you look at any game in the series after from this point onward, Cortex is basically just the mouthpiece of however the creators feel working on the project. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it really is saying something for Crash. For Crash of the Titans, saying that because he literally calls his fucking niece a skank, but whatever.
Well, isn't that the game that made the Naughty Dog developers say it was like watching his daughter do porn?
Well, anyways.
Anyway, onto the back to the jet ski levels.
You play as
I don't know,
Coco.
the pirate theme feels really underbaked. Like, yeah, I get that
Yeah.
you can't really do much if it's going to be in an open bay, but like then don't have it be don't make your pirate levels take place in a fucking bay. Have them be on a ship.
Yeah, have it be like have it be like Donkey Kong Country.
Or have it be Port Royal.
Be like what?
Yeah.
Port Royal.
Never heard of it.
Dun 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 dun
From
dun
Pirates
dun
of the
dun
Caribbean.
dun dun dun.
Oh yeah, I gotta play Lego
Yeah, that
Pirates.
Port Royal.
Anyways, so I just don't like the jet ski levels either. They're like it feels like padding, honestly. Just to make the game a little longer.
Half of the game feels like padding.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. So what's the next one? Oh, the next one is the aeroplane.
They're alright.
The airplane levels are so short and so
So
disconnected from everything else in the game that once again it's very very apparent playing the game that the airplane levels only exist as an excuse for Engine's boss fight to be as cool as it is.
Yep. They're so easy. All
Yeah.
you do is just loot and shoot for like a
Go
couple
go
minutes and you're
around,
done.
shoot things, don't die.
And then, yeah, that's basically it. I don't think it's even
The
worth.
diving levels are all right.
Oh, the diving levels, yeah, they're kind of
Yeah.
meh.
Yeah, they're way too sensitive to control around.
Yeah,
Like they're fine. They unlike the other ones, they feel like actually properly designed levels, but like they're still not very good.
yeah, they. And here's the thing: this isn't the worst diving stages because later on, Wrath of Cortex would come along and
You
make them even worse.
know the diving stages were brought back in Huge Adventure.
Yes, I played
And
the
in
huge
fact, you know what the
adventure.
funny thing is for Huge Adventure? You fight Dingo Dial underwater, even though he's a pyromaniac.
Yep.
Who came up with that? That's stupid.
Who came up with that idea? They need to fight. I hope. I
Who
sure hope they
invited
got.
that kid?
What was the line? Man, I sure hope they got fired for that blunder.
The
Anyways,
tiger stages. They're like the animal riding stages in the
But
previous games, but
but they're the
I
entire
mean,
thing.
not as good.
you can. I mean,
Yeah, they're pretty much the
the
same.
animal riding stages did get better throughout the trilogy. I'll say that.
Yeah, because what there was Hog Ride,
Hog Wild.
Hog Wild, which is just whatever. I mean, they were fun, but there was like only one. You only had to play one of them, and then there was the
Yeah, the
polar bear
polar
levels.
stages crap too were pretty good.
Yeah, they're good. And then
Yeah.
weirdly enough,
And then
and then
and then
Crash.
this yeah, and then the ones in Crash 3 with Pura, that's the name. Those ones, the ones here are actually the best of the trilogy, surprisingly.
I would agree, honestly. And then like later on, Crash, the Huge Adventure would bring him back.
Oh,
The
and
polar bear.
also out of the vehicle stages, these ones by far take the most advantage of the time period they're set in.
Yes, for some weird
Yeah.
reason. I don't get why, but I guess because Tiger Q put more effort in Tiger. I don't know. Overall,
Well, it's because you're running along the Great Wall of China while it's being constructed.
I guess that's
It's,
fair.
it's definitely a cool idea.
Yeah. What else is there about? Fuck. What else about the Tiger that we should talk about? Isn't there only 3 of those levels?
Too.
2.
Yeah, we got 4 jet ski stages and 4 motorcycle stages.
Yes, literally like the worst ones. We
Uh,
got multiples of those, and yet you only get 2 flying levels. 3, I think actually, because I think there's one.
why can the seagull kill you?
Yeah, I don't know. The seagull is just a fucking asshole in the jet ski levels.
Yeah, just like in real life, where they're always asking you for your potato chips.
Hey, give me one of your potato chips. Oh
Give
yeah,
me,
what are
give me
you
your chips. Give me
doing?
your chips.
All right. Is there anything else about the tiger levels? No. And I think that's all of it, ain't it?
The music in them's pretty good.
Yeah, I like the
I mean,
music.
the game's soundtrack in general is really good. I mean, particularly for the future stages, like holy shit.
Yeah, weirdly enough, would you say that this is a downgrade from Crash 2 soundtrack?
No, it's a downgrade from Crash 2 sound. I mean, I've said it before. I think Crash Bandicoot 2 has the best video game soundtrack. But like the music here is still good, minus the PS1 version of the motorcycle theme,
Mm-hmm.
which is literally just like an out of tune piano.
Well, let's talk about the power-ups. Because, believe it or not, Crash 2, a thing from Crash 2, because I believe Crash 2 also had power-ups, if I remember correctly, yeah? They have some power-ups. Crash 3 gives you basically like a lot of things to use, including but not limiting to a bazooka. Sorry, are you guys still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, I was just making sure. Roxy, do you want to talk about the power ups?
I
You want to talk about the power ups?
Okay, well, like the idea of getting upgrades as you go along in a Crash game. On one hand, it does feel cool in that you're getting stronger. On the other hand, it just sort of cheats the level design. But
Mm-hmm.
or well, not of the stages after you get each power up because they
I'm
account.
really glad they had
But what
a
I mean
double
is like
jump. That makes some of the
what I
platforming so much easier.
what I mean is like when you go back to an earlier stage, it's like it just feels like you're cheating it. But okay, so what do I think? The super powered belly flop. I mean, the hitbox is nice for getting rid of nitro crates and enemies, but like, why would you upgrade the fucking belly flop? Like, what?
This
Also,
is
by the way,
really all that different from the regular belly flop.
all of these power ups are weird to me, just in general, due to the fact that half of the game is gimmick stages, so they're irrelevant half the time anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Because you can't use most of
Then
them.
there's the double jump, which is finicky but useful because you can only do the double jump when you're at the top of another jump's arc, which is like, huh?
Mm-hmm. Then there's the fruit bazooka, which helps get blocks that could be in kind of tougher to reach places. But
Well, yeah, but also it just completely breaks the level design because you can shoot an enemy before you even get close to them.
mm-hmm, makes the game.
The death tornado spin breaks the platforming because you can just glide over everything.
Yep. And then there's the running
Maybe
shoes,
I'm
which.
not.
Oh, sorry.
I still die though. Maybe I'm not using it right.
I struggle
And
sometimes
then
with it.
yeah, the sprint shoes exist for the time
Yep,
trials.
and we'll talk about the time trials later. I think it's complete.
Yeah.
I think most of. I think I think it's good that Crash Bandicoot has good time trials. I don't think that it 100% warrants the game to do power ups because here's the issue. Roxy brought it up best. Whenever like most of the levels, you're not even doing what the main game is like marketing it towards. It's really unnecessary because like you don't need them. You don't need the belly flop in like some of the stages. You don't need any of them because guess what? You're not going to be platforming. You're not even going to be doing half the shit. So like why
And
like
also like
and this game is
I don't
completely useless. It feels not completely, but oh, go
I'd
ahead.
also like to point out that when they added time trials to Crash 1 and 2 in the Insane trilogy, they didn't even bring any power-ups back to Crash 1 because it wouldn't fit with the game's level design and because power-ups are unnecessary to begin with. And then for Crash 2, they added the speed shoes, but
That's what I'm thinking
like
of.
that power up doesn't even really change much anyway.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't.
so
It's completely it's completely not needed. I mean, like mind you, that's Insane trilogy. We're not talking about just
Yeah,
Insane. We're talking about the
like
Insane
Insane
trilogy.
you know
Trilogy,
what I
which
mean? Like okay, sure, it makes sense to add them for Crash 2's time travels, just due to the fact that that game has a lot more flowing level design than Crash 1. So if you wanted to just run sprint fast through all of them with that ability, you can to make the time trials more engaging. Sure, I get that. But on the other hand, the fact that they didn't even bring the other ones from Crash 3 into Crash 2 just goes to show how how much they break the gameplay due to the fact that it's just that the only one they brought back only helps for speed.
Mm-hmm. Because Crash 3 it breaks the
yeah,
game.
Yeah, because the power-ups do break the game in Crash 3. Well, they break the good half of the game in Crash
Yeah.
3.
The other half you
yeah.
can't really do much about it. I mean, it would be cool to blow up the other racers and fucking in the start of like the racing level.
Crash 3 feels very at odds with itself, to be honest.
I agree. I think I think one of the
Yeah,
biggest
I
issues
see it.
I think one of the biggest issues with putting power ups in any Crash game, including like I think one of the biggest issues with Crash 3 that I have is I think that the game needed more time in the oven and to figure out what they really wanted to do instead of just releasing like, oh well, let's make it a racing game. Oh, let's also add in power ups. I think they should have really thought about it instead of just, oh, let's just release it and say fuck
As,
it.
okay, as for the actual story, there are a
Oh,
couple things that I
Oh, read the
find.
story.
okay,
Okay,
hold on 1 second.
yeah, because we already talked about the game. Well, okay, okay, you know what? Let's talk about the platforming stages just real fast.
Yeah, we can.
They're easily the best part of the game. Once again, every platforming level state, every platforming level theme is a good choice, but I think it's weird that there are three medieval ones, given how basic those ones are.
Yeah, and the issue is also the
But
fact
like
that
the
the
rest of them, like the dinosaur one is a nice evolution of the boulder stages. That makes sense. I see the thought process with having that be a dinosaur. That's cool. And I like that they made it a Triceratops too instead of just throwing in like a T-Rex or something, which Crash 4 did, but like I don't mind it there because they did it well there. I just think it's cool that they had it be a Triceratops in Crash 3 because, you know,
Mhm.
being a herbivore doesn't mean you're not violent.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
look at
You know,
that fuck.
Goodbye Volcano High showed being an herbivore doesn't mean you're not a bad person too.
As
It
for
literally, it's like, okay, yes, in that game, Fang did everything wrong with Trish, but Trish still brought a fucking worm to school.
um, as
Yeah.
for as for any other things about like the
Asgore.
platform, Asgore. One of the main things about the platforming levels I also didn't really care all that much for was the fact that the game didn't
No.
really. It's also the fact that like it's so like it feels like it takes so long just to get to another one. Which yes, the good thing is that they did
Yeah,
one of the
that's the thing. It genuinely feels grueling to play the. On top of the fact that the gimmick stages aren't that fun, it also just feels like a chore because you're like, okay, either I do this now and then I can play um an
platforming
actually good
later.
stage later, or I'll do the actual good stages out of the way and then I have to do these as chores, or you're just playing them in the order that they're listed.
Which sucks because honestly, it could have been like
You lose no matter what because the gimmick stages being so abundant was always going to be a bad idea.
yeah, and like what makes it even worse
Yeah,
is if
and
like
it
you.
only get. I
I'm
think
sorry.
it only gets worse with Wrath of Cortex.
Mm-hmm. It really does. Fucking Wrath of Cortex.
I'll say
Because
this,
Wrath of Cortex added in way
and
more gimmicks that really don't fucking work.
for the other platforming stages, the Arabian levels are my favorite ones in the entire game. They have like the theming feels on point. The actual enemy design and movement and stuff feels on point. Like everything in those levels feels appropriate and comes together. Too bad the rest of the game isn't like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The future stages I have the same sort of thing to say about where it's like everything there is just put together so well. And you know what the funny thing is they're structured kind of like the ice stages in Crash 2 where you have a 3D section, then a 2D section and then another 3D section.
Yeah. And that's another
But
thing.
like the actual theme and I like that they didn't just bring back ice stages for this. They instead made them future themed with all the technology and stuff. And and those ones just feel very the future stages, like the Arabian ones, just everything comes together and it feels very energetic and fun to play through.
Hmm.
And then as for the Egyptian ones,
They're fine.
those ones vary.
Yeah, like you got
Like,
some that are like pretty good, and then you got some that are just like, what the fuck is this?
and then you got the one where you have to wait for the water to go back down.
Yeah, that one's so. I hate that one so much. It's so stupid. Is that all we have to say about the gameplay? Do you guys want to move on to the graphics, real quick?
Oh,
Well,
graphics wise, the PS1 version of this game was actually revolutionary. They in fact had to make new engines for some of the game modes.
really?
Yes, so
Really?
it's very technically impressive, but also like It's not good. Just in
I
terms of
mean,
actually playing it.
you know what's crazy? You really got to think about this. Like back in the day, like most like like you like really think about it now. Most video games now, they take up so much storage, right? Like they take like fucking Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is like the most like fucking piece of shit ass fucking AI slop game. Literally is like 300 megabyte or like 300 gigabytes and shit. And then like you get games like this, which are like, groundbreaking successes, and they're not even that close. Like they're like maybe a gigabyte at most.
I'd like to mention for
Mhm.
the Coco jet ski stages,
Mhm.
The
they
one I
had
just
to,
died in.
for the Coco jet ski stages, they basically had to create like an entirely new type of algorithm to render the water in the PS1 version. So once again, impressive, but also the actual end result are just levels that I don't like that I don't like
Mhm.
playing.
I guess like you can be like for the time. Like I mean, I guess it's like when Resident Evil when they were making a new Resident Evil game, and they were like, okay, well, like with Resident Evil 7, they were like, we need to make a new engine for it, so they made Reach for the Moon as like the engine to like do shit, and then like they used it for like Monster Hunter and shit. Which, by the way, the RE engine's actually really complex. From what I've seen of it, it looked very complex on how it runs and shit. But like that's how like they were able to get like full motion video in for like the character models and stuff. I love when game developers like show off what they have to do just to get their thing to work. Like I love developer commentary and shit like that. But like especially for games where they're
No,
like,
the one you should watch the developer commentary for Crash 3. It's actually really good.
really, I bet I should, because that's one thing I think we can all get behind. If like a game like goes out of their way to do more, you can at the very least commend like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
the work. Like
it's
that's what you're
what they
saying.
did is impressive. What they did is groundbreaking. But it's like Jurassic Park, where it's like, should you really have done it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it, can you not
Yeah.
make something good out of it? I mean, again, the RE engine, like they had to prove that the game was also really good, while also having to provide like a reason for this engine to be made and everything. Meanwhile, Crash 3, it's like, we made this engine to make this water level look very pretty, and then it's like, yeah, it looks very pretty, but is it fun to play? And they're like, what? you know. Anyways, as for like the graphics wise for like Insane, and from what I've seen, it looks pretty much the same as the rest. There's not really a whole lot to say. I feel like once we get to Crash 4, we'll have a whole lot more to say because of how,
Or we actually have new things to say.
yeah, about the graphics.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
overall, the game still looks pretty good.
Yeah. As for the
Yep.
story is really weird because on one hand, like it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, Cortex was working for Aku Aku's crazy brother, Uka Uka, the whole time. And it's just like, huh? Where the fuck did this guy come? Like, he's a good addition. Uka Uka's a good addition to the cast, but like, did you really have to pretend that Cortex was working for him all along?
Like he could have just easily been still pissed at Crash and wanted world domination. Like Crash
Yeah,
Bandicoot 1.
he could have literally just seen Cortex's
Yeah.
corpse in the crash because there's no way Cortex survived that. Um, use
Yeah,
his magic to revive him, and then be like,
have him
okay,
disappear there. Although, admittedly, his introduction in Insane is a complete downgrade from the
oh
original.
no, and in the original game, the opening cutscene is so much better.
Another.
Because Uka Uka floats around going like wah 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 da 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 whatever, and then Entropy just teleports in. But Entropy's standing in the back the whole time in the original
Yeah,
cutscene,
well,
and
Uka
Uka
Uka is in
Uka is
Shadow.
stationary, but shrouded in shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Which like that's so much cooler. Why did they change that?
Hmm.
But
Money.
like once again, I think the problem for me isn't even that Uka Uka exists because I like Uka Uka. My problem is that they're treating it as if he's been here the whole time.
Which I
He
mean,
truly is the Mr. Poopy
Yeah,
butthole of the Crash
it's
Bandicoot
been
series.
Uka Uka all along.
He's literally just like he's literally the Mr. Poopy butthole of Crash Bandicoot.
True. And then he gets shot. Which, it's been a while since I played Crash 4. I need to really replay Crash 4 for a YouTube playthrough.
He's not even in most
Yeah.
of Crash 4.
I'm about to say,
Cortex and Entropy think he's dead for the entire game.
yeah, and then he comes back. Also, he was played by Clancy Brown.
Hey guys, I'm fine.
Isn't he played by Clancy Brown and or no,
Both Cortex and Uka Uka were played by Clancy Brown in the original version of this.
It's crazy. I love Clancy Brown so much. He's such a goofball.
It's funny because when the Crash series started to fall off, he left because he justifiably didn't care anymore.
Well, didn't he always play as Neo Cortex from like the beginning?
No. He was played by Brendan O'Brien in the original game, but then they got Clancy Brown for Cortex and Crash 2.
Nice. I like Clancy Brown.
Just
Nice hearing his voice.
I think it's interesting. But anyway, like the story is literally just Uka Uka is freed. He's like, "Hey, Mr. Entropy, since you're a friend of mine, let's just take this Cortex guy and take over the timeline and get the crystals from different points in time." Which, to be fair, that's a really fucking good plan.
Mm-hmm. And it would have worked if it wasn't for Crash and...
If it wasn't for that meddling Bandicoot.
If it weren't for the fact that Aku can inexplicably teleport them to the time machine as well.
Mm-hmm.
No!
Sir just died.
No,
But,
God! No. I got all the crates, and then before I skipped past the gem and exited. I was telling no tales.
Oh. That has to be...
No, I have to do it all over again. Because I was so... I literally made me skip row past the gem for no reason. These stupid rowboat controls!
I do think that the game having an upgrade of like Crash 2's Cortex hologram system and having the bosses talk to you between some of the levels, I think that's really cool, especially since it's not just Cortex this time.
Yeah, it's also...
Which, like, yes, it doesn't actually affect the gameplay at all, but it gives them so much more characterization.
Yeah, it gives them time to be... It's kind of like how in Batman Arkham, like, whoever killed you gets to make fun of you or whatever.
Somebody's probably made an edit of those where it's in the Crash Bandicoot 3 cutscene style.
Nice, I got another gem. I've been...
But,
yeah.
I do... Like, Entropy in particular, I like that they have him exposit, where he's like, I made the time machine, by the way, I'm the master of time, which also, by the way, his name being Entropy because of that is fucking genius.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about the bosses, let's talk about probably the best thing about the game.
One more thing, though, in regards to Entropy. Why the fuck do you... okay, no, I'll talk about this with his boss fight, but I do think it's interesting that after you beat him, Cortex is like, dude, you fucked up, because he's the one who manages the time machine and keeps it stable. And it's like, okay, well, that's your mistake for fucking sending him after us halfway through the game.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the boss
They
fight.
didn't make him like the second to last boss.
Oh, no, the boss fights in this game are... kind of like the animal writing section, the boss fights in this game are a massive improvement over the previous ones. I mean, to be fair, you can't get much worse than Crash 2 Cortex, but still.
I mean, you or Papu from Crash 1. Can't really go wrong with them. However, I
or
do
Pinstripe Pottery, where it's literally just stand behind something until he stops shooting.
You really have to give this game credit for its amazing ideas for boss fights. Tiny Tiger being an Olympic or Athens
Roman Gladiator.
Roman Gladiator. Why the fuck did I think
one
Athens?
That fits? Two, it kind. I do like that the boss fights are in unique level themes as well.
Yeah, Entropy's in the future. Dingo Dials is in the Ice Age. it all works.
Well, wait, Caroline, did you not notice with Entropy's boss fight, every time you hit him, he actually teleports you to a different time period?
He
Yeah.
does? Oh, dude, that's actually sick. I did not
Yes.
notice that. That is. See, Crash 3 is such a disappointment. Because it does so much cool
A
shit.
disappointment in the game of life.
Yeah, it's such.
Yeah, it's so cool, and then half
halfway.
the game is gimmick stages.
Yeah, like it has so many bright and smart ideas. And then they're like, hey, so what if we just don't do that? And instead we just give you a bike. Ding ding. It has a little bell on it.
I want to
Yeah,
ride
so, like,
my
okay.
bicycle.
Okay, and then Engine you fight on the moon, which isn't even time travel related, but it's fucking awesome, so who cares?
It's kind of like a cool inverse of Crash 2 where it had the moon in it.
Where you fight him on where you fight him on a space station.
Yeah. I think it's awesome that this game
And
does...
then Cortex you fight in the time machine itself.
Yeah.
Wow.
What makes it even cool is the fact that, like, most of the boss fights are really fun. Crash 2's boss fights are, like, some are, like, okay, like, Engine's, like, the highlight of it.
Okay, Engine's fight's really good, Tiny Tiger's fight's really good, and then the other three are terrible.
Yeah. Komodo Brothers. And then Crash 4, the only good fight in the game... I couldn't even tell you who's the best fight in
You
the
mean
game.
the only bad fight is Luis in Crash 4?
No, I'm meaning in Crash 1. Like, Crash 1, I don't...
Oh, sorry. In Crash 1, Embryo's the only good boss.
And that's... Oh, yeah, Embryo. Sorry, I forgot because Embryo's not even in this
And then
game.
in Crash 3, of all things to improve, I don't know why it was this in the animal riding sections. I'm still glad that they at least actually got these well. But, like, all 5 of the boss fights in Crash 3 are good.
Yeah, like, I give huge props to the team for making really fun boss fights in this game. Even though it could have easily just... I don't know, man. Like, it could have been easy just to make this the best... Honestly, with how much they had good service with Crash 1 and Crash 2, I could definitely see Crash 3 just being the best of
Going
the
around
best.
this time.
I think
Yes,
the best way to describe it is,
Nice.
while Crash 3 does downgrade itself in terms of the actual level designs, the actual presentation of Crash 3 is a massive improvement over the first two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Crash 3 does the best idea of trying to sell you on its ideas. But, like, see, here's the thing. They sell you on the ideas, but then they don't go through with all of them. They just go through with some of them, and then they're like, okay, well, here are some ideas that we never even told you about. It's weird. I really wish, like, and here's the thing. I'm not trying to sit here and just dogpile harsh on this game, because I don't think this game is, like, awful or anything. I don't even think this game is, like, anywhere close to, like, the worst shit I've played at all, and everybody knows that.
It's good. It's good, just much worse than the two that came before.
You know what? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna make one more F-Zero reference, if you don't mind. I know it's weird, but Maximum Velocity was like the third F-Zero game, and like they stripped away most of the ideas that were introduced in X, and they were like, okay, well, what if we just go straight back to the first game and just try taking what worked there and throwing it into this game? It kind of feels like that, except they did add in a little bit more to make it stand out from Crash 1. But still, like, oh my gosh. It's so shocking how they just... You had all these cool ideas, and instead of just improving the actual issues that you knew you had with the game, you instead fuck it up. Like, again, I know we're about to talk about it, but the completionist stuff is actually kind of fun to do.
Well, we haven't actually talked about the boss fights themselves.
Oh yeah, okay. So let's talk about the
Okay,
first one, Tiny Tiger.
So let's just do them in order.
Tiger.
So Tiny Tiger's boss fight, really good introductory boss. Like, it sets the stage really well. Once again, I like that it takes place in Rome because, like, come on, if you're gonna do a game with a time travel theme, you gotta have Rome. Like, I feel like it'd be weird to not Rome.
Yep.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
weird not to do Rome. What game would not do Rome PvZ2? Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
there was
Just
Roman.
it's also cool that they did it with Rome for him because it fits with him being a gladiator type character.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just Cortex sitting there as the Caesar is really funny to me. Like he's
Yeah.
watching you do the boss fight, and then if you look at him, he gets fucking pissed when Tiny loses.
And that's cool. I'm kind of glad that Crash Bandicoot 3's like first fight is also themed around it. It's just nice because, you know, the second
Yeah,
fight.
Crash. Like you said, like the detail is amazing. It's just half of the levels aren't good.
Yeah, shockingly not good. Crash. The second fight in the game is the
Dingodile, which by the way, Dingodile is this is Dingodile's first appearance in the entire series. One, what an intro. Two, like I said, Crash 3 introduces three mainstay characters, being Uka Uka, Entropy, and Dingodile, and all three of them are fantastic.
yeah.
So I'm glad they did that.
And what, like, honestly, like, Dingodile works well in his stage. He's a pyromaniac, and he's in the Ice Age. What more could you
Yeah.
ask for?
Yeah. Also, his boss fight's just incredible because it's a circular arena. You have to strategize like what you're gonna bait him into breaking and stuff. The only issue with it is you can actually cheese the entire boss fight just by doing a slide jump with a spin in the middle of the jump
Yeah.
to put yourself in the center without
I
even
did
waiting
not know
to
that.
destroy the barrier.
And then the third fight is Engine. Nice seeing him.
No, it's Entropy.
Oh,
Engine was originally gonna be the third fight because
I'm literally.
you know, Entropy being the master of time makes sense to fight him closer to the end of the game. But then they realized, hey, wait a second, we made Engine's fight way too fucking cool for it to be in the mid boss.
Yeah, so they're like, might as well push it a little further up. Overall, though, like,
Even though, once again, it's weird to introduce Entropy and then have you fight him halfway through the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
But like, once again,
Wow.
with Entropy talking to you and stuff, one,
oh,
which is just really cool anyway. With him once again saying that he also I just find it really funny when he's talking about his coworkers. He's like Uka Uka and Dr. Cortex. It's like
Yeah.
like he likes Uka Uka, he just can't fucking stand Cortex.
His
I think
design and
that's
his
really-
voice kind of reminded me of Jafar, actually.
you know, he reminds me of Squidward. I do not know why. He just reminds me of Squidward. I love it. I love most of this game. It's like silly, like literally everything that does not have to do with the gameplay. For the most part, I love. Like, I love the characters. I love the story. I love, like, some of the gameplay I love, obviously, like the platforming level.
I love what they do with Cortex in particular, where he literally just doesn't care anymore. He's just doing a job at this point.
Yeah, he's like, ah, fuck it, might as well. And I like that, because he's such a goofy character.
Yeah, exactly. I like where Crash 4 goes with that development, too.
Yeah, with the...
Which also, by the way, I like that Cortex actually gets the bright idea of using time travel to just cheat
Yeah.
in Crash 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously it means that Entropy wins due to the fact that if Crash can't stop him, then Entropy wins, but is Cortex stupid? Yes.
He is. Honestly,
yeah, exactly.
It's
so
also
I don't
kind of
have an
crazy
issue
that,
with coming up with that.
in my opinion, it's kind of crazy how well Entropy did. He even got his own game. He even got Crash 2
Yeah,
Entrance.
Yeah, Entrance. Cortex doesn't even appear in that game at all. It's the only game in the entire series to not have him.
I like that. Look,
he's
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, sir.
that much of a good villain. He can carry a game on his own.
I think sorry that I keep bringing up boss fights and shit like this, but it does matter for this specific segment. I think it's cool whenever games introduce a villain that could rival the main villain of the franchise. I think characters like Fawful,
I think it's
the
especially cool
X-Nauts,
because
the
Crash
Dreadnoughts.
3 introduces two villains to do it with.
Yeah,
Because Uka Uka is more evil and more powerful, and Entropy is more confident.
yeah, and also has like a fucking broken ass ability. Like it's
Well,
awesome.
and also the fact that Uka Uka and Entropy are already comrades who like working with each other.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, again, that's why I think it's cool that Entropy would literally go on to star in his own game against Crash. Yeah, it's a Game
And
Boy game.
In Crash 4, when he becomes the villain for a bit of the story, I thought that was the end after I beat him, genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's great. Crash 3 introducing world-renowned all-stars is great.
Once again, like each Crash game in the original trilogy introduces some mainstay characters. Think about it. Who would end up
Mm-hmm.
going on for the rest of the series? Okay, think about it. Crash 1 introduces four of them,
Mm-hmm.
being Crash himself, Aku Aku, Cortex, and Embryo.
Yes.
Okay, it makes sense, and it's a little bit extra because the other two introduce three each, but like it's fine because it's the first game. And then Crash 2 introduces Tiny.
Tiny,
It introduces
Tiny Tiger,
it
and
introduces
Engine.
Tiny Tiger, Engine, and Coco. And
Mm-hmm.
then Crash 3 introduces Uka Uka, Dingodile, and Entropy.
I keep forgetting Coco was not introduced in Crash 1. She was introduced in Crash 2. I keep forgetting that.
Also, I just really like the fact that I like the fact that Dingodile's just a bounty hunter that they hired.
Yeah. And then, like, Crash 4 brought a lot of them back. Like, brought almost
Oh, and
everybody back.
it's also funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's also just funny to me because the way that the Insane trilogy decided to have Coco be a playable character in Crash 1 and 2 is genius.
Yeah,
Because Crash 3 already introduced time travel.
exactly. So it makes sense why she'd go back to try to help. I would stand by most of Crash 3
Wow.
is a great game on the front of what it introduced, some of the story beats and everything, and the completion requirements.
Yeah.
However, of
Crash-
course, the main
Crash
gameplay is the
3
issue. What?
Crash 3 is like Crash 3, honestly, it's like having a really, really well-made steak that just has a lot of fat on it.
Exactly. And it's like, and there are people who like eating the fat. So, you know, they probably
I'm
just.
not one of those people.
Me neither. I don't like fat. Huh, I'll kick your hiney, man. I'm a savage killer. Anyways, is there anything else we want to say
And
until
then
we? Oh wait, no,
okay,
wait.
and
Sorry, I'm an
Entropy's
idiot.
boss, because we haven't
Yeah, we haven't
we haven't
finished.
talked about each boss fight.
Yeah, sorry.
So for Entropy's boss fight, okay, Entropy's boss fight is probably the least good in the entire game, but it's still really good.
It's still fun. I still have a great time playing it. I think
Yeah,
it's cool that like
it's
he's his own downfall.
It's kind of easy for being mid boss. And once again, I find it weird that you even fight him halfway through the game when he's second in command this time around instead of Engine. But
But
Cortex isn't even really second in command this time around anyway.
yeah.
He's just kind of along for the ride.
He's
Entropy's
just
the
there.
guy who's second in command.
Yeah, he's just kind of there. He's just kind of there for the ride for the most part.
I like how, yeah. So like Entropy's boss fight's cool in that he stands across the arena from you, and when doing his attacks, he overheats his suit and has to stand still for a little bit. Which one is once again, that's brilliant because of his name being Entropy. On top of the fact that him being a time travel person is cool. His name being Entropy, referring to his could also. The fact that it also refers to his suit overheating, it's fucking brilliant.
Can you hear the my controller or no?
Here's something I've always assumed, actually.
Hold on. What did you say?
Like Entropy.
What'd you say?
I was wondering if you're able to hear the sounds of my controller.
Just a little.
No.
I could hear it a little.
a little bit.
Okay, it's not distracting.
I was gonna say.
Oh my god!
All right, go
I was
ahead.
gonna
I'm
say
right
I've
there!
always assumed it's not explained, but I've always assumed that the reason Entropy is blue is because he's from the future.
Mm-hmm. He's
Just
Thanos.
like he's just because he's like some human from the future who's Inhumans have blue skin in the future for some reason. Like it doesn't actually matter, and he could just be a guy with blue skin, but that's just
Yeah.
what I've always assumed
Right.
because it would make more sense that way,
Yeah.
right? Like especially since he already has the technological prowess to build a time machine anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I also really like that he says that his time is up, but yours will soon be too after you beat him. That's really cool. And like
Yeah.
his suit explodes and sends him back in time where you see if you get the true ending.
Yeah. Well,
And then Engine's fight, like, what do you want me to say? Engine's fight.
it's one of the best in the entire. It's the best. Actually,
Engine's fight is
I love it. It's a great because then like when you think you beat it, because like it's like you take down his health bar, and then you're like, oh cool, I did it, and then he goes into a second phase. That was awesome. I like it a lot. It's cool.
yeah, and then Pure comes in and attaches to your ship and makes it look like a giant penis for some reason. And so then you fight the rest of its health bar. And I like that it adapts and you get to strategize with where you're hitting him.
Mm-hmm. Overall, I would say Crash. I would say that this game has like the best boss ratio because then you got Cortex fight, which aside Crash 4, I would say it's one of the best. It's one of the best in the series. It feels so climactic with with Aku Aku and Uka Uka
Yeah.
going at it, with the music getting all intense.
Which also, by the way, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I think the fact that they're fighting for the entire boss fight is a really good way of justifying the fact that you can't bring him to heal you or
Yeah.
to protect you during it as well.
Yeah, because he's too busy fighting Aku Aku, which it makes sense why Crash and why
Yeah.
Uka Uka and Aku Aku would be fighting instead of trying to help out the other one because those two are brothers. They hate each other. It works out so well, and it's
Well,
so
well,
nice.
and also because they're equally matched, so
Yeah. And I like how like Cortex, he's just shooting the same purple lasers that he did back in Crash 1's boss fight, while also having a what's it called? Like force field. What are you saying?
and I like that he's doing it very lazily as well because he doesn't care anymore. He's just kind of sitting there taking pot shots, hoping things will work out, but not actually expecting them to.
Mm-hmm. And then that's it, ain't it? That's all the boss fight. I also love how you have to knock him into a hole. He falls down in a hole, and then Aku
And then makes a breath joke.
yeah, a nice big
I
pack
missed
of
the-
eyes
oh
to
my
put on
God.
my head.
Whatever.
It's so good.
I'm never
Oh,
going to complete this game anyway.
And I like that even when once again Cortex still wants to give up, and then Uka Uka's like, "Nuh-uh." You actually have to refight Cortex and Uka Uka after you get all the gems, by the way, in order
That's-
to get the true ending.
that's valid. All right, is that all the boss fight? I would say all the boss fights in this game are extremely fun. And
God!
No, all of them are good.
Wow.
Like they range from good to incredible, and when I say range from good to incredible, I mean entropy to engine, which is like it's a great range.
I'm
The fact that I can imagine any of these fights being somebody's favorite in the entire trilogy just goes to show you how
Mhm.
good they are.
yeah. Overall, I stay with the opinion that Crash Bandicoot 3 has the best
I think
boss
that's
fights.
part of the reason why Crash. I think that's part of the reason why Crash 3 frustrates me so much because it has so much going for it and then just decides to
To not go
run
with
around
it.
frolicking with gimmick stages.
I mean, it definitely frustrates me for completely different reasons.
What reasons?
Oh,
sir?
and then we got to talk about the completion
Yeah. Do you want to?
aspect of it now. So
Yeah. Hold
Crash-
on. 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only one of us who's actually fully completed it, so I'll say this.
I have played. I have been trying to.
Introducing-
Sorry.
I've been trying to.
Introducing-
Ah!
Go ahead.
Introducing the
That's how
time
they're trying to.
trial relics is a good idea. You could say that Crash 3 having so many gimmick levels shows that they were out of ideas or whatever. But I think that the relics prove otherwise because even even like they're not just your basic do it as fast as possible. You got to go out of your way to break the right time crates, strategize in that regard. I think that's really cool.
I agree.
Crash, you can't.
And you gotta get all the relics before you can get the last gem from Coco,
Mm,
or an Insane Trilogy Coco's computer,
yeah.
because if you're
Or
playing as her, she won't
also in
hand
the
it to
Insane
you.
Trilogy, they added the time trial relics to the Crash 1 and 2 stages.
Yep.
Yeah, but I do think out of all the Crash games I've played, that 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 this one does the relics the best. And that makes sense because it's the one that introduced them and was designed specifically to have them in mind.
Would you say Crash 4's relics are better than Crash 3's? Or no? Do you think that they're a
No,
little too
Cra-
much?
Crash Crash 3 does it better because in Crash 4 you're forced to spin the entire time rhythmically.
Mm, I see.
But
I was just
And
wondering.
I could imagine that like
but yeah, and
destroys
then
your hands.
as for the crystal and gem things, they're basic. They work the same way as they did in Crash 2, which I mean, it was a good system, so them not changing it doesn't bother me. It is weird that there are two secret levels, one of which there's a bird that flies into a sign with an alien on it in a motorcycle stage. So driving into the sign brings you to the level, brings you to the level Hot Cocoa, if I remember correctly. That's where it was. Like that's fine. I don't have that big of an issue with that. Like apparently in the original version of the game, the bird that flies into the sign wasn't a thing, so that's weird and
Mm,
probably really cryptic. But like if you've already played Crash 2, you know that if something looks off, you should interact with it. So
mm-hmm.
I think the bird flying into the sign and the sign having a unique decoration, that I think that works. But what's really weird to me is that in one of the stages on a gem route, you have to run into a random pterodactyl enemy and get carried away by it, and then it brings you to the level Agapus Rex, and it's just like, huh? How was anybody supposed to figure that out unless by accident?
Yeah. It's a little
You
silly.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Because
But
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, for the most part, the gem stuff is basically like it is in Crash 2. So the completion there is fine. I don't really have an issue with the complete. Crash 3 probably has the like when completing the Insane trilogy, Crash 3 probably is the most fun to do a full completion playthrough of, due to the time trial relics actually being
fun.
integrated into the game's design, unlike with Crash 1 and 2. But like if you does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I
But
think
like
it's the most fun to try to 100%.
but yeah,
Because it
but
feels like
the
everything
thing
is
is,
different.
the actual levels in Crash 2, Crash 2 has the best levels, and I mean just the best most things in general. So
Well,
Crash 2 I still think is an overall
Woo!
game.
Oh,
Crash Crash 3 I think is really overrated, but still good.
well,
yeah, it's still a
before we
fun game.
before we move on to ranking or anything, I do want to bring up this because I don't think we brought it up yet. This was the last game, like this is the last game we'll be talking about that was fully developed by Vicarious Visions, right? Or because Vicarious Visions, which I mean, yes, this was made by Naughty Dog, and then Vicarious Visions went out of their way and made like the remake. But yeah, Vicarious Vision did not continue the series. They did make one level, which Roxy, do you
Oh
want to
yeah,
talk about?
Future, which is a really good level, by the way.
Could you see these people be?
Yeah, Future 10.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, what?
I was
What?
gonna say, could you
Yeah,
see?
Future Tens is a really well designed level. so it kind of surprises me that they weren't brought back for Crash 4.
I was about to say, do you think
But
they would have done a better job than Toys for Bob?
I don't really want to speculate on that because the Crash 4 we got was really good. I mean, I'm assuming Vicarious Visions wouldn't have made the completion requirements in Crash 4 as ridiculous
Mm-hmm.
as Toys for Bob did. But at the same time, I have no way of knowing whether or not the levels they would have made would have been as good.
Mm-hmm. I was just wondering your opinion on it because they did also, mind you, Vicarious Visions didn't just do this. They also made the Game Boy Advance games as well, right? They,
Yeah, and I believe that the people who made the Tony Hawk Game Boy Advance games went on to make like the Tony Hawk remakes. So
it all comes full circle.
basically, I'm saying is yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. Oh,
I think
I just think
yeah.
that's a really funny coincidence.
it is kind of sad to think that Vicarious Vision never did get their own chance at trying to make a Crash game. No, don't get me wrong. I love Crash 4, but I would have liked to seen like a Crash Bandicoot, like I don't know, like a Crash Bandicoot continuation.
You're at least curious to see what they would have done because they proved that they also have skill in making
Well,
Crash levels.
I mean that's how I feel about a lot of things. I would have loved to seen multiple canceled projects and see what they could have done, or studios that never
Yeah,
just
that's
got the
good.
chance. Like, I mean, I would have loved to
Just,
seen what the Batman would have been like,
but as
directed by
is, the
Ben
Crash
Affleck.
4 we did get was really
Of
good.
course it was, and I love it a lot. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's always a good sign. All right, well, I guess it's time that we move on to the ranking. All right, so I'm gonna start us off. Then I'll go to Sir, and then I'll talk to Roxy, and then we'll have Roxy. All right.
Jump. Okay.
Crash
Okay.
Bandicoot 3 is the definition of wasted potential. I think some of the ideas that Crash Bandicoot 4 had, I mean, Crash Bandicoot 3 had, were amazing ideas. Some of the characters that they introduced were interesting and could have easily continued on with the franchise. However, due to a bunch of stages that kind of feel like it should have been in a different game, along with the fact that I think that this game just does a little too much versus, say, Crash Bandicoot. I mean, the later Crash Bandicoot game, Crash 4, and what the predecessor Crash
Well,
2
and
and 1
even
did.
the first, yeah, the first two knew what they were good at and stuck with that.
Yep. Oh no. Fuck that up. I would give Crash Bandicoot. I was debating whether to give it a 5 or a 6. I think I will give it what I gave it on Backlogged, which I think it was a 6 out of 10. So I'm sticking with that. I think with it being bundled in a trilogy, you really start to notice the problems sooner. You know. All right, Sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a still pretty fun game that has definitely has things holding it back, which there being too many gimmick levels and not all of them are balanced or it definitely has some of the best boss fights. And I'm glad you went first because I was wondering, is giving it a 6 a bit harsh? It's like, no, it's not. It's still an okay 6 out of 10 game.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, Roxy.
As for me, I have similar thoughts to you guys where I'm like, this game could have been so much better than what it actually is. Just they needed to focus on the right things.
Mm-hmm.
But like as is, it's still fun. It's like sure doing the main playthrough of it is a bit of a slog, but the actual completion stuff is fun enough to make up for it for the most part in my eyes. and the characters it introduced are fantastic, and I think they're great additions to the cast. So I think I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. But like,
I get.
yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Alrighty.
What do you think? Do you
Next
think that
time on the
makes
Vulture
Wait,
sense?
hold
Culture
on.
Because it
Hold on,
Podcast.
wait,
has
wait.
enough. Or please let me finish.
Yeah.
I think it has enough going for it to still be a likable game. Just it does have some glaring issues.
I was just gonna say this.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was gonna just say this. Crash Bandicoot 1 is a 7 out of 10 to me. So it should really just show that Crash, like, if we were to rank the entire series and like do it, I think all of us would have the same opinion. Crash 2 is the best one. Crash 1 is second place, and Crash 3 is the worst one. So I just wanted to bring that up.
What? I died.
I mean, and by the way, being the worst one of a really good, solid trilogy is nothing to scoff at. So,
Yeah.
sir, hit us off.
Next time on the Vulture Culture Podcast.
Yipperoo!
As you can tell, we're really stepping it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next time.
Let's see. Is episode 63, The Wolverine.
Yipperoo! Alright.
Oh, I died again.
Episode
Yeah.
64.
After that is episode 64.
We decided to switch it up.
Nintendo Land.
Yep.
Yep.
It's the one change that we were gonna do, possibly because of the fact that we didn't want to try to spend a lot of money on Pokemon. Anyways,
Yeah.
along with
The
that,
game some of us couldn't even find.
one of us.
Okay, after that's episode 65. Top 5 favorite protagonists.
Mm-hmm. Which is the next episode we'll be recording IRL, because we already recorded the Wolverine Nintendo Land and yeah.
I know I said in the beginning of the season we wouldn't do some out of order, but we're doing them all in like not as chaotic as season 2, but
yeah,
it's just in the same box.
Yeah, as long as it's like around the same of each other.
Yeah,
We're recording episodes in groups of 5.
Yeah. At least staying consistent with that.
We're never recording it like season 2 ever again.
Season 2, I literally re-listened to top 5 worst villains, and I was like, I warned you guys we could do worst villains, which by the way, that's now finally coming out next week in real life, but not this Wednesday, but yeah. Episode 66 will be
5-1. Oh, I almost died. 5150. Van Halen album.
Yep, we are doing another Van Halen album after season 1. We did one, and then we did Bruno Mars. Now we're doing another one. I'm still debating on what my episode will be. For right now, it's Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. But I really don't think that's the best idea. Although I love Smash for Wii U, I don't think it's the best one to go after. But who knows? We might do it. So episode 60... episode 67 is Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. We're going to cover both of them. We're not going to do anything else like that, because Roxy's only played Super Smash Bros. For 3DS, so... lastly, to count us off...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Actually, no. Where are we at? No, we can mention the other two. It's not 70 yet.
Okay. Go ahead.
Next up is 68, which is A Bug's Life.
Yep. I hope you all are excited for that one. Because I'm not. I don't hate A Bug's
Yeah,
Life. I make it sound like I hate it.
There are definitely some Bugs Life fans out there. And
Hey,
I like it too. It's just compared to everything else from Pixar's golden era, it's definitely like among the weakest.
yeah, I agree. And then the last one, Spirit by Leona Lewis.
It's episode 69.
Yep. We are very excited for doing these episodes because once we get to the 71 to 75, oh my god. We are going to be living like kings. Because
Yes.
They are.
After dragging ourselves through the mud in the beginning, we'll be living like kings at the end.
Also,
I told you this journey would be satisfying.
which also, by the way, in case you think I forgot about Sekiro, dear viewers, don't worry. You just gotta wait a little longer for that one. I am very excited to talk about Sekiro, if you couldn't tell. I mean, it is my fifth favorite video game of all time, so, I mean... Anyways, I think that will do it for today's episode of the Vulture Culture Podcast. If you guys enjoy it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Blue Sky for any updates. Also, follow all of us on our links, because we have multiple other platforms you can find us on. Roxy's YouTube channel, Sir's DeviantArt, my YouTube channel, all links down below, along with timestamps, which, you know, I mean, if you made this far and you didn't mess with the timestamps, I mean, there's nothing you could do now. It's too late. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we move? Oh, well, I almost forgot. Make sure to go to the Shark Tale episode and also give us some feedback on what episodes you guys would like to hear us do for Season 4. The competition is going to be ending soon, so you guys might want to get your high tails over there, so... do you guys have anything you guys want to say about later upcoming episodes?
Yeah, you'll definitely love what's coming up.
Where's top 5 hottest protagonists?
True. Where's that episode? I really cannot wait till we do top 5 best protagonists. My list is almost finished. I have been...
Yeah, mine's coming together pretty well.
Roxy, are you excited? This is the oh yeah, also... Oh. This is like the last season that will have tradition... Possibly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody will comment top 5 favorite spin-offs or top 5 favorite anti-heroes. Who knows? I mean, I don't even know how top 5 anti-heroes would look, but... Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
The Teletubbies #1.
True. Domesticated war crimes. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Love you.
Top 5 best protagonists, Finn Shepard from Sharknado.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you all next week. And as always, brush your teeth, you dirty hooligan. Goodbye.
You dirty birdie.
You dirty birdie.
Bye.
Bye. Fuck.